Mark 10, verses 17 to 30. Good teacher, what must I do to inherit eternal life? Paul Harvey tells us a story about Speedy Morris, basketball coach for LaSalle University. He was shaving when his wife called out to tell him he was wanted on the phone by Sports Illustrated. Speedy Morris was so excited by this prospect of national recognition that he nicked himself with his razor and ran with a mixture of blood and lather on his face and fell down the steps. But he got to the phone, and a voice on the other end said, "For just 75 cents an issue, you can get a 1-year trial subscription." Jesus' words in Mark 10:17 to 30 are like a two-edged sword, which separates the soul from the spirit. It's always tempting to look away when Jesus speaks to us of wealth, convincing ourselves that the rich young ruler is someone else who makes more money than we do. Today we hear Jesus dividing the young man's riches into two categories. First, the material life our culture trains us to acquire, and second, the kind of material life in which we are called to take the fruits of our labor and share them with others. In some way, we all qualify as the rich young man. Some of us may struggle with providing our families with food, while others struggle to balance their budget as they live in a 10,000 square foot home. In order to understand wealth, we should spend a few minutes looking at the situation of the homeless, others around the world, and especially at third world countries. Wealth can be viewed as a quantity or a quality. Jesus was not calling the rich young man to abandon the physical world. Instead, he was calling him to move from the materialism of selfishness to the materialism which focuses on meeting the needs of others. In the story, Christian Generosity, Edwina Williams tells of an aunt and uncle who embraced and lived out today's gospel reading. My aunt and uncle were the two most generous people I have ever known. They not only gave to their church far beyond their tithe amount, they gave to many charitable organizations on a regular basis. So many, in fact, that the IRS refused to believe that at their income level they could possibly be giving away that much, and audited them several years in a row. Beyond those contributions, they were always helping out in other ways. My aunt was there with her checkbook whenever there was a death in the family. She might give $100 just to help out or buy the burial plot if the survivors couldn't afford it. The two were just as generous with their time as they were with their money. Almost every day after they retired, they visited at local nursing homes with countless individuals, family members, friends, fellow church members, and even lonely strangers. They were both teachers, and in younger years, they spent several days of each summer vacation redecorating someone else's home, buying the paint and wallpaper themselves. I believe it was my aunt who was the engine behind all this, but my uncle always did his part with his usual stern expression and calm demeanor. My aunt and uncle went to be with the Lord a number of years ago, but they are not forgotten. With adequate but not huge incomes, they made an impact upon the world that is impossible to measure. I wonder what the world would be like if there were more people like them. Are you like the rich young man and prefer to keep what's yours? Or are you like Edwina's aunt and uncle and willing to share yourself and your resources with others?